leading up to this.
Well, you just had a chance to chat with Germany about their thought process yesterday.
Yeah, so they played against Russia, and that was really unfortunate for them, actually. They said they weren't really thinking about like the opposition's ults when it came to that one, and they weren't really happy with the performance overall. But we'll get back to it in a second, because the U.S. coming in as the favorites, they're not too worried about Germany when I talk to them.
I just want to say, Jason gets so much good inside info from these teams. You're like the Chris Mortensen of Overwatch at this point. Yeah,
I try.
Why did they tell you their
just
secrets,
making up
Matt?
these sources?
No,
like,
there's tons of secrets, actually. So, for you, Matt, I've been hearing there might be playing something a little bit special for you.
Oh, no.
One of Matt's favorites?
Yeah, one of his favorites.
I have allegedly like 10 favorite heroes at the start of this thing.
They're all
Do they all start with T?
Yeah.
All right, well, here's our German team, and these guys, I think, have a lot to prove after that matchup with Russia yesterday. But they're putting a little more thought process into, I think, their entire team strategy. Right?
And they weren't really, they're not, well, they said the map pool doesn't really fit them too well, because they have 2 hit scan players, and on Hanamura, you need like your Genjis and your Pharaohs to kind of dislodge some people. So it doesn't necessarily fit their playstyle, but it doesn't matter, because it's up to them to adapt.
So the thing about Germany is that there is that untapped potential where if any team could come out in the middle of the exhibition here and actually really have a strong showing, it would be Germany. I think they're a team where, even though, based on what we know, we expect them to be a little bit weaker, they still could come out and surprise us here.
And it's interesting, right, just from the group standpoint. It's like if Germany were to win this one, they go to 1-1. You have USA fall to 1-1. It's like this could be looking at something where you see like one of those 3-way ties.
Absolutely. And, you know, USA, they played against Chile yesterday. We didn't get to see too much of what they're bringing to the table, but also, I mean, I'm looking forward to this matchup for reasons beyond, I think, just the in-game stuff. I know a lot of these players are super familiar with each other outside of the game. ZP, do you have any insight into the history of some of these player versus player matchups?
Player versus player matchups between both teams. Well, obviously, you look at Team USA, there's a lot of players there that go back to the very beginning of Overwatch competition. But you look at Germany, you have players like Eren and Hulk. You have the matchup between Tailspin and Hulk, 2 teammates, now against each other as they fight for their country's pride. A lot of cool stuff across the board, really.
All right, great stuff to keep an eye on as we head into this match. And Mitch, Lee, take us away.
Thank you very much, Seltzer and Co. It is time for the United States of America to take on Germany. 2 teams in rather differing positions amongst this group. I think it's safe to say, Lee, we haven't had to see much from the US. Whereas I think Germany, speaking to me, they said they expected to be very strong against Russia, and they definitely fell short of their own expectations.
Yeah, the US against Chile was a very one-sided affair. It wasn't really a test of their character, test of their strength. Siegel just going off, having fun. They kind of styled it a little bit and enjoyed the game. For Germany themselves, though, they did have a real tough time against Russia. And, of course, they struggled to close it out. And in the end, Russia took the win over them, which puts Germany in a precarious situation. They really have to pick up a win here if they want a hope of getting through. Obviously, we were talking about it yesterday being almost a decider because USA were the big favorites. But of course, it was played on Hanamura on Route 66, which we're going to be playing today. For Germany, unfortunately, they were unable to cap out the B side. They weren't able to complete Hanamura. They didn't get themselves a time slot in there, whereas Russia did, of course. So
sometimes base side can play hard to get, Lee. It's just the way it goes. It's the way it goes. But I like the point Jason brought up about Germany is that they have 2 predominantly hit scan players in Artier and Eisfeld. Artier did play Genji for Team Dignitas for quite some time after Lynx sort of moved roles to more of a flexing situation, then moved back to Genji. So I don't mind that. I think he's actually a good Genji. He's a good Genji. Let's just make that clear. He's not like he can't play it, but again, he's going to be up against it against the US, who are playing McCree and Roadhog, so they are going to have the tools to deal with flankers.
Yeah, no May, though. No May on the United States defensive side. So whether that's a case of they just don't have anyone that plays it well enough, or whether they don't fancy it, or they're just trying a different tactic.
A great May.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Well, we'll see. I mean, May's almost a must-have on this first point lately. We'll see how it works out for them. Germany and themselves, they're going to go aggressive. Eisfeld, of course, with that tracer. We expect this one. Ruster will be running in with the Ana. And, of course, Artier, he's going to be looking for the flanking moves. So they got the Genji and the tracer, so they're going to be trying to look for the mobility, try and get around. Of course, Skipjack going to be leaping in with the Winston, but Artier kind of went straight into the blender there.
Well, he's got no choice. He needs to find out what the US are playing, but I love this lineup from the US. Go with out the Mei and focus on dealing with flankers. Germany bringing 2 of those to the party. Tailspin can always switch to Mei later on if he has to, but the Roadhog and McCree, that sucks to play against as a Tracer, and especially Genji. Both of those guys are going to have some difficulty. And notice that US are set up on this top right side, so they're ready for people to try and take alternate flanking angles in.
Well, here we go. They're going to jump straight in there, and immediately Skipjack is dealt with. And hoping it would have lasted a little bit longer. RTA goes down pretty quick, and Icefeld, well, he gets one, but completely dealt with. And of course, United States just going to force them back there. So already see the biotic grenade not going to be able to keep them alive. Solid defensive work. Tailspin the only man to go down in that exchange for the United States, so he'll be back from spawn in no time.
Right. Germany, how do they respond to this? That's probably the big question here now. Is it a matter of what route are we taking or taking wrong? You can, as Germany, push in from this view towards the left and try and get some high ground advantage, and then maybe try and sneak your flankers into the backbone like this, right? RTA has switched towards a Reaper. You can deal with guys like Tailspin, Mesra, and Seagull a lot more against this triple tank comp, and you're not as easy picked off with flashes and the like. So let's see if it works out. We're going to have a pulse bomb being thrown down there. It actually gets stuck to Tailspin. That's a good start. The Graviton Surge catching 3 for Germany, but lacking in follow-up. However, Stir does find Internet Hulk off the backside. Now it's going to be a responsive Graviton Surge used with no follow-up on the US side.
He gets God's down though, so that's one of the big damage dealers dealt with. Now, can they get more from it? Seagull goes motoring through and just burns the backside of Skipjack. Icefeld forced to back away, look for the health pack around the corner there, but he's unable to cause a big problem. Katos is forced backwards. The Lucio will get away, and Germany, well, they yet to get themselves something on the board. 2 minutes gone in this matchup already. 2 minutes to go, and Germany's struggling on the first point.
Okay, so Tailspin switching over towards Tracer here as well. He might just want to try and deal with, I guess, Ruster most effectively, because now Germany have I guess they have the combo between the Reaper and the Ana, of course, and the Nano Boost and the Death Blossoms there. And the US don't actually have much to deal with that, if I'm honest with you. Adam can sort of help them disengage, but they don't have a Mei. So you can't just throw down a Blizzard and hope that that's enough to stop that Reaper. So now the US have to be a little bit careful now. Look, it's going to happen straight away. RT's going to go in. Let's see what he can get.
Gets the copter off straight away, manages to take Stir and Adam down. That's both supports picked off. That is tragic for the United States. Now the question is, can Gods and Meza do the work? They get themselves one. Seagull comes in. He gets himself a kill. Skipjack's knocked off the side. Is it enough? I'm not sure it is. Tailspin's going to work them down, and Germany get cleared off despite the support players in the United States being taken down. They hold strong and don't even get themselves a single marker on the A side.
Yeah, so if you're RTA now, you're like, come on guys, I've done the hard work, I got rid of all of their healing, but Germany lost lives very cheaply there. Skipjack going for a long jump off a short cliff for whatever reason didn't really help things at all, especially now when Icefeld had to do most of the damage. So now Graviton in, Tailspin follows up with a pulse bomb. It's pretty straightforward stuff from here on out as Rusted will ultimately fall, and US get the wipe. Germany missed their biggest window lead for actually getting onto this point in terms of their ultimates, and now they've got no choice but to just go hell for leather and try and brute force their way in.
And the problem is they got no charge whatsoever there because they just ran in and got completely stuck up straight away. So there's zero charge. You can see there's only 30 seconds on the board. They're not really going to be hitting the ultis, and now we're seeing a change. Kratos has switched over to Zenyatta, so they're hoping to try and get some discord in there, try and just brute force it, do what they can, forget the healing, get straight in there.
Yeah, I mean, against obviously this tank, this double tank comp, I guess you can try and work in a little bit more like that. Tailspin takes down Icefeld early on, so McCree's already out of the picture, and Kratos goes down, so that's perfect work by Tailspin now, showing his versatility, getting into the backline and taking all the sting out of Germany's bite before they can actually use it. That's going to be another wipe here. Gods was the one to benefit from the Nano Boost here, and it'll go straight towards Icefeld. I mean, it'll just be after the fact. They're adding insult to injury, but a full hold here from the United States on that first point is a very good start. Sometimes you don't need Mei to get the job done, Lee. You saw exactly how they crafted a composition to deal with those slippery flankers on the side of Germany, and not only did they pick the right heroes, but those heroes did their job.
A very splintered attacks from Germany as well. At no point did they really, they played that one time when they went in. Obviously you saw, I think it was RTA, managed to get himself the double kill on both the supports, but that was the only time they pushed as a unit. Because they're using these flankers, at no point did they arrive at the point at the same time.
Yeah, you know, RTA went
whatever
first.
positions, you know, you can flank all you like, but you need to be all arriving at that point at the same time to make it work, and at no point did that work. Obviously the pincer moves are very tricky. Tailspin, of course, running on the Tracer, we know him as Farah, but as you can see, very, very good on the Tracer. 14 eliminations and just 2 deaths, 43% weapon accuracy overall. No, not bad.
Yeah, no, for a Tracer especially as well. I mean, good Tracers realize that you need to get up close to actually make the most of your damage and hit things like heads and stuff like that. Hey, that's us, Lee. But Yeah, so passive tracers often don't have a lot of accuracy, a lot of damage, because they're like, I don't really want to get within the zone of threat here, but you need to do that. You need to show a degree of disrespect because your damage fall off at range is immense, of course, with tracers, pulse pistols being very, very deadly right up close and personal. So really nasty play from Tailspin. Also, Seagull, didn't talk about him as much as we sort of often do. You know, playing Nazaya there, top damage for his team, really, really played that one quite nicely. Also blocking 2k damage with his shields being put down.
But not a single death.
That's a huge amount of damage, right? 2k is about a fifth or a sixth of what Germany put out already. So, you know, those shields really are very, very important here. And I like this positioning for Internet Hulk. I don't think he'll stay up here for very long, but it might just be a shield that he throws on towards Artier and gets him in. Oh yeah, a little bit of a different approach to setting up defensively here.
Well, let's see how it works out for Germany. They have to hold strong against the United States. The ball is indeed in the United States court. Here we go. Let's see how they're going to work out. You can see immediately Seagull's going on his trademark Genji. It's what we're used to seeing him on the stream. Let's see if he can make it work here in the pro scene. As he goes around the side. Icefeld's just below. They do spot themselves the May, so they know what they're up against. They know they're going to be looking towards that split attack.
Seagull just going to reflect the dart there as well as he's able to get up close towards Rust. And not much that can be done here as well. You can see Seagull, you know, he wants to demand attention, but if he doesn't get attention, he's also happy with that one as well. Headshots with the Shuriken's definitely going to leave a mark, and Seagull's able to dash in and out of this fight. Germany cut down to only 2 players left, so US can run on in essentially on this one. They need to keep the pressure up. They've forced a staggered spawn, I guess, hierarchy here for Germany, and the more kills they get, the more they exacerbate that, the more they make it impossible for Germany to actually defend with more than 2.
Yeah, they got it, I think. Seagull's got his Dragon Blade ready and waiting to go. There's not a great deal that Germany can do. They've been cleared off. It's such a long run back from the spawn, and USA will take map number 1 on Hanamura with ease. They're going to be able to contest it just towards the end, maybe? No, not even. That's going to be easy done. Now, Seagull, let's just talk about this man. You know him. He's probably the most popular man on that team. He's very big in the streaming world. 25 eliminations. Not a single death. Played Zarya and, of course, Genji.
Yeah, I mean, switching to Genji and not dying there as well is obviously pretty darn important. That self-preservation aspect is the key to doing damage. Like Stir said, actually, upon joining this US team and learning how to sort of play in this kind of way, competitively at least, he said you need to put a lot more value on your own life. It's not